how much of the CO2 do you think is man-made? I've read figures, but I can't
Well,
quote them. I
we
don't
know
remember.
how much we are increasing, and that's all human made. But there's a natural carbon cycle, of course. I mean, the natural carbon cycle is probably 60% of it, but we're adding I think we raised it about 40% in the past 100 years.
Okay. Related to that, then global temperatures. I keep seeing all these headlines about, new highest temperatures in Australia, new maximum here and there. But when you go back and look 120 years ago, the temperatures have been higher than they are now.
Okay, and there were no
It
people
depends
back
where you
then. There
put your
were,
starting point.
the environment was completely different back then. We could not survive in that environment back then.
A
We
hundred
are
years ago.
the biosphere in modern day world is able to survive within a specific parameter of CO2. Any more or any less, plants begin to die, animals begin to go extinct, glaciers melt or freeze. There's a very particular parameter in which we exist in. Any alteration from that renders harm or consequences that in our society, which we depend on for our food supply, needs to be balanced. If it's not balanced, we're going to go extinct, which is where we're headed. We are literally headed towards extinction if we continue emitting CO2. It's a very fine line that we're passing, and that's why it's extremely critical that we change.
Okay, but is it not a fact that the graphs that they're showing us now, you can pick a starting point that was substantially low. 100 years ago, if you pick the starting point, I think it was in 1908.
Doesn't matter when you start the point. It doesn't matter.
Yes,
Since
it does.
1970, since 1970, temperatures have went extremely high. Okay, rapid intensified warming that has occurred in the past 50 years. Okay, and that's attributed to CO2. There is no other forcing effect that had that happen. It was CO2 by humans. We are causing climate change. We don't need the past information. Climate change is caused by humans. The overwhelming evidence demonstrates this. There's 88,000 papers. It's all point to the humans causing climate change. There's no debate about this anymore. Only people that don't understand science debate this. Climate change is a fact. It's caused by humans. Get over it. Let's do something now. We have to act. We have to start acting. We don't have time to wait for people like you who don't understand how the climate change works. Right? Go learn. It's up to you to learn. Stop being irresponsible. Learn about the climate system. Learn about
I've
science.
learned,
Learn.
and if you draw your graphs starting at 1908, the Earth is cooler now than it was then.
No, that's not true at all.
That is
The Earth has warmed almost 2 degrees Fahrenheit since
not since
1950.
1908. It dropped.
It's increased 2 degrees Fahrenheit since 1950, sir. That's
Yes.
a shit ton of warming. Okay, that's caused by us. There's no other forcing that causes that. It's not the sun. It's not volcanoes. It's not your mom. It's human caused.
So could a lot of that be contributed to population growth? The
Some of
more
it,
people,
yes. Yes,
the more people
factories,
there is, the more
cars,
cars, the more
automobiles,
electricity,
planes,
the more cattle to
agriculture.
feed
These are
them.
the things that cause climate change.
Yeah, so population reduction is a good fix.
No, 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 no. What is better than population reduction? Sure, if you eliminate all people, there'd be no more climate change, sure, but we'd all be dead, right? The problem is that we actually can become more efficient and still have a high population. We can have a 10 billion people on the planet and still be efficient and still have no greenhouse gas emissions. It's possible if we all had solar, we all had wind power, geothermal, bio, all kinds of technologies are out there that enable us to have zero emissions. It's possible. But we
Now,
don't do it because we're too lazy. We're too lazy, right? Nobody wants to go vegan. It's too hard. I don't want an electric car and batteries. Like we complain a lot, right? And that's the problem. We're complainers. We cry. We don't actually do solutions. We're lazy.
Yeah, but the solutions they're pushing now don't seem to be realistic to me. To build a Tesla, an electric car, is a bigger carbon footprint than a
No, it
gas
is
car
not.
is going to
No,
make.
it is not. To produce electric cars, yes, you're correct. It uses carbon emissions. Number one, that's under the current infrastructure, right? Imagine if that we had solar plants that were producing these Tesla batteries. There would be no emissions that way. But furthermore, even under current infrastructure, electric car batteries are about 25 to 50% more efficient than the counterpart gas cars in the long term, okay? Because remember, every time you go to the gas station, you fill up your car, that's emissions. Every time you get your oil changed, that's emissions, right? Electric cars skip that. So they don't have all that gas, all that consumption attributed to it, right? So in the long term, after the first 3 or 4 years with an electric car, electric cars are way more efficient. And that's under current infrastructure. Imagine 10 years from now, where we have lots of solar and wind powering this production, you're going to have 90% of the emissions gone by having electric cars. Electric cars are the future, sir. Get over it.
The carbon footprint to make a battery is extreme.
I understand, but it's more extreme to have a gas car in the long term.
Well, from what I've read on the subject, and I've read quite a bit, 9 years is the average break-even point. Now, if your battery is lasting 12 years,
It's more like 5 years,
all right. Well, I don't have the data in front of me, but
and that's decreasing because as batteries get better, as we do more solar infrastructure, the emissions are going down and down again. Electric cars are absolutely the future. They already are working. It's just that people like you don't understand what's happening. They look at Fox News, they look at Tucker Carlson. They don't actually look at the facts and data, which demonstrate electric cars are better for the environment. It's just
Mike,
that you're
I've read a
so
lot about it.
biased
That's
because you don't
why
want
I'm
to
here
change.
talking to you.
Look at the motivation here behind you not wanting electric cars. I don't want electric. I don't want to change, right? I like the sound of my car. I like to drive my gas guzzling V8, right? I like American muscle, right? Look at the motivation behind this. You don't want to change, and we understand this. People
Mike, I
don't
drive
want
a
to change.
Prius.
People don't want to go vegan. People, I don't like my meat, right? Meat. Like people don't want to change, and that's one of the reasons why we're stuck here because people don't want to change.
Well,
And
you're making a lot of assumptions about me. After listening to you over the last 2 years, I went 3/4 vegan. I haven't gone all the way.
okay, well, there's no such
I've
thing as
gone
three
from.
quarters. There's no such thing as 3/4 vegan. But thank you. All right, guys, let's go to the next guest. Hello.
Hi, ex-Muslim turned Christian.
Hi. How are
Um,
you?
I'm good. So I'm an ex-Muslim myself. My question for you is my question for you is
I bless you,
ho-
ma'am. God bless you.
thank you. How do you go from one nonsense to another? Like it doesn't make sense how you went from Islam to Christianity.
I read the Bible, ma'am. Genesis 1:1 in the beginning.
Uh, so okay, why did you leave Islam then? Because it's all the same thing.
No, I left Islam because Allah. I don't like Muhammad. I don't like
But you
Muhammad, so
like
I
Jesus.
left. I switched over to Christianity. It's a better
What's the
religion, man. We have Jesus. We don't have Muhammad. We got Jesus.
The
He's
only
always got
difference
my
between
back. He's
Jesus
always
and
taking the
Muhammad
wheel.
is Jesus didn't do a little girl. Like that's the only difference.
Yeah, it sounds better. Like, because I have a lot of atheist friends, man, but they always said,
They
like,
all
hey,
preach
how
the
old is
same thing.
Aisha? And I was like, well, Aisha's, and I couldn't make any more excuses, so I went over to Christianity. Now there's less
Why is it
excuses I
better?
got to make.
How is it better? Can you give me some pointers, like bullet points?
Well, Jesus didn't. Jesus is a nicer man, and
But he
Christianity is
still
a nicer religion.
but he still asks you the same thing Islam is asking you: self-sacrifice, believe in something that doesn't exist, limitation.
What you mean God
Don't you?
don't exist? God does exist, ma'am.
Don't. So which one is God? Is it Jesus, the Holy Spirit, or the Father?
Jesus, all three of them, all three.
You almost said Jesus.
All three.
Oh, okay,
3
okay.
in 1, like shampoo.
Nice. Head and shoulders. Okay. So, how are you feeling now that you're Christian?
Way better. Oh bye. I sleep better. I'm
Uh-huh.
anti-abortion.
Oh,
Uh, I don't know, man. But Jesus always, whenever I'm driving the car, I always pray and I get to work on time. If I have allergies, I sniffle. I just pray and it goes away.
nice, nice.
So
So, like in the Old Testament, it says that that if you grape a little girl, you can marry her. Is that true? Or a girl that's virgin?
that's no, that's the Old Testament. Okay,
Oh, okay.
the Old
Oh,
Testament.
did God change his mind, or like, do you like that God changed his mind and is nicer towards the end?
Man, he he didn't change his mind. It was a different context for the different people back then. Okay.
So God is allowed to be harsher in one context, and the other one he can be kinder.
No, just a different people. Okay, just, it's okay for those people, but not for us. Okay.
Why is it okay for those people and not for you? Okay, would you leave your family for Jesus?
What do you mean? It's a context. Okay.
Would you leave your family for Jesus?
Of course, Jesus is all powerful.
Oh, okay. Would you deny food for Jesus? Can you stop eating?
I would do anything for Jesus. Anything. He's
Oh,
my
God.
savior.
Would you sleep with him?
Man, come on. Come on. The, I won't, okay. If he asked me to, maybe. Okay. If he said I'm gonna get to heaven if you do this favor, I might do it. Okay. All right. You have the next guest in here.
Hello,
Are you atheist?
I am. I'm 100% an atheist.
Well, then,
And
Miss Atheist, where does the trees come from? Where's all that come from around us? Who made it?
I mean, honestly, there's really no substantial evidence that someone created these things. Like, it's just part of nature, it's part of science. They
Ma'am,
just grow.
Have you read the Bible?
No, I have not. Not all of it.
That's your problem. Genesis 1:1 is crystal clear. It says, in the beginning. Okay? That's all you need to know.
Well, honestly, anyone could have wrote that. I mean, I really wouldn't trust a book that was
Are you?
written and then translated over like 1,000 times, even though they claim it was just changing language.
Don't,
I wouldn't
ma'am.
trust that as a reputable source.
God made it. That's it. It's faith.
If we've never seen God, how did he make this Bible? How did we get a hold of it?
He inspired it with his divine holy powers. He infiltrated his powers into Moses' mind through magic.
Through magic?
The Holy Spirit.
Is there any substantial evidence for that? I mean, honestly, I get it. I mean, if you're
Man,
religious, you
look
believe in
around the
what you're
world.
told only.
Look around the world. Look at the trees. Look at the bees. Look at how do you not see the Holy Spirit?
How am I supposed to see that? I see science through that. I see
Science is
nature.
fake. There is no science.
Science is fake.
Yep.
Um,
I don't believe that. I don't believe no big boom.
and no big what?
I don't believe no big boom. We're not monkeys.
Big boom?
I'm not no monkey.
Oh, you don't believe in evolution?
Oh, hell no. Hell no.
Honestly, I don't know how to move forward with the conversation because I don't know if I'm talking to someone that's intellectually like able to have this conversation.
Are you insulting my intelligences? Ma'am,
A little bit.
do not insult my intelligence.
Oh,
I have big words up there. Bigly words.
got it. Okay. Oh, sorry. Never mind. I just caught on. But okay.
God forgives you. God
Okay.
forgives you.
Great conversation. This is a great conversation. I'm gonna stay because it's just funny. But okay, thank you.
Another atheist lost. No morality. They think everything's permissible. You atheist?
Of course. Do you believe in
You have no
evolution?
morality. You have no morality.
You believe in evolution?
No.
So, where did humans come from?
God.
Where did God come from?
What do you mean? He always was. He was just
What do you
always.
think about the Big Bang?
He was just always there.
What do you think
Okay?
about the Big
He was
Bang?
always there. Okay.
What do you think about the Big Bang?
The big what?
The Big Bang?
I don't believe in no big boom. Okay.
What do you think about it?
It's nonsense. We don't
Why?
come from no big boom.
Why?
God made us with a big boom in the Genesis. He said, in the beginning, he said, let there be light. And bam, 6 days later, we popped out.
But there's a lot of Christians who would say the Big Bang doesn't make sense because something can't come from nothing, right?
That's right.
So, where did God come from?
Nothing. He was always there.
Interesting. Say that again.
God came from nothing.
But the
made
Big
the
Bang
universe
doesn't
from
make
nothing.
sense because something can't come from nothing.
Yeah, because God made the universe from nothing. You need God to make a universe.
So he was always here. He was always here?
Yeah.
Does the Bible support dinosaurs? The existence of dinosaurs?
No, there's no dinosaurs in the Bible. That's nonsense. That's fake. All the bones are fake.
Really?
Yeah. All the souvenir shops, it's a big conspiracy. NASA, all the paleontology stores, all their souvenirs, they're trying to get your money from the souvenir stores.
Interesting. Why are humans special?
We have brains. We have 2 eyes. Look at us. Opposable thumbs. No other being has that except for me. Okay? We're smarter.
Chimps don't have that?
Nope. No
No.
chimp has no opposable thumbs.
No. Interesting. All right. Well, that's all I got to say. Peace be with you.
Also with you.
I can't leave. Kick me.
God will kick you out of heaven once you get there. I'm praying for you, son. You got a long ways to go before you get to my scale of intelligence. You'll never reach my level of intelligence. Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, are you atheist?
Yes, I am atheist.
All right, where's your morality?
I have my morality fully intact. I actually once had a friend ask me, if you're an atheist, what keeps you from, I don't want to say any words at all, what keeps you from R-ing people, what keeps you from stealing from people, what keeps you from doing all these things? So I said, well, if the only thing that's keeping you from doing all these things is fear of a God, then I'm scared for your morality. So I don't do these things because my morality is fully intact. So it's not out of fear of a God. It's because I just want to be a good person.
Without God, if there was no God, I would just go out and do whatever I want.
Oh, would you? So now that's exactly what I'm saying. Thank you so much for proving my point. You're actually a really good person for this argument. Like, you're proving exactly what I want to, so thank you so much.
Man, stop. Stop talking.
I'm sorry, I'm not your babe.
I'm going to mute you, okay? I'm going to mute you. You're talking way too much, okay? We get morality from God. We get morality from God and nobody else. Atheists don't have morality.
Or else you're going to beat me?
Worse. You're going to hell in a handbasket.
What are you going to do to me?
God will take care of you. Don't worry. Don't
No,
worry,
but what are you
man.
gonna do? Are you gonna arm? Like, what are you gonna do to me?
God will come down, and guess what?
Uh.
Kick you out of heaven and go, bye-bye, Pessy.
Yeah, but
You're
you
going to
know what?
hell.
I'm not scared of that because I don't believe in heaven, so that's not like fear for me at all. You know, once
Prove
I'm
that.
dead, I don't
Oh,
care
yeah?
where
Oh,
I
yeah?
go
Oh,
because
yeah?
I'm not here anymore.
Oh, yeah? Prove
Huh?
that heaven's not real.
Uh, what's your name? Mike. Mike, that's not how science works. In order to prove something, you need to prove that something is there. I don't have to prove that something is not there. That's
What?
not literally not how it works.
No. Prove that God isn't real. You don't have no proof.
Mike, that's not how it works.
What do you
Sweetheart, that's
mean?
not how it works.
Man, if I told you that unicorns are real, isn't that, wouldn't you have to prove it wrong?
No, sweetheart, you would have to prove. No, I wouldn't have to prove it wrong.
What?
I'm not claiming that there are unicorns, so that's not, that doesn't even fit with the
I know
argument.
I'm making the claim that God's real. Now you have to prove me wrong.
I
That's
don't
how
have to
that
prove you
works.
wrong. You have to prove me right. The same exact argument is with unicorns. I have to, if
All
I
right,
believe
well,
there are
how about
unicorns,
this?
I have to
Fine, you want
prove
proof of
unicorns
God?
are
All
real.
right,
You're not
fine,
letting me
fine,
talk.
fine.
I'm not done
Okay,
yet.
okay. You want proof of God?
Oh, yeah?
Who
Come,
made
give
who
me
made all
proof
the
of God.
trees? Who made all the trees
Huh?
around us? Who made everything?
I don't know, and that's not.
It was God. God made it.
No, no, honey, we
Boom.
don't know. Science has
Boom.
not been able to figure it
Boom.
out yet. I believe in the
What?
Big Bang, and I still, there's still confusing parts, but that does not make that there's a God because
Man, if we don't
I
know
still don't
something,
agree with you.
that means God did it. If
Nope, it
science
doesn't.
if science doesn't know how the universe got there, it must have been God. Okay?
Exactly.
That's
I
the
like
only
someone said
option.
here, I made the trees. Okay, I'm gonna ask you the same thing. Like trees around us, grass, where did it come from?
God, Jesus.
Oh, it did? No, I made it. I'm actually God.
No, you didn't prove. No, you didn't make it.
I'm God.
No,
My child, I am God.
prove it.
I don't have to prove. You have to believe in me. I am God. My
No, you have to.
child.
No, you have to
You don't
believe
get
in
the
me.
question.
You have to believe in me.
What?
You have to believe in me because I'm telling the truth. It's in the Bible.
I am God. My child, you don't get to ask me questions. That's not how atheism works.
Okay.
I mean,
Well,
that's
then,
not how believing in God
did,
works. You don't get to ask questions, right?
what do you think we come from? Evolution?
Yes, I do.
Well, then why are there still monkeys?
I'm not going to claim to know every single part of this. I believe in evolution, and I agree that there are many questions unanswered, but that does not make me believe that.
Where's the half humans and half monkeys? Where's the half humans and half horses? Where are they?
Literally what I just said. I said just because I believe in evolution does not mean that I have it all figured out, because I don't, and people way smarter than me and people that have lived way before me have never been able to figure this out. So no one claims to have all the answers. It's just I will
Okay.
never
Well,
I'm not done yet. I'm not gonna believe in God just because I need something to make sense to me, because I'm just making peace with the fact that things don't make sense.
no, man. If it doesn't make sense, that means God did it. Okay, you just gotta have faith in God. I mean, there's no other God
Mikey,
that's
no, it
possible.
doesn't. Mikey, sweetheart, no, it doesn't.
Okay, well, what if you're wrong? What if you're wrong and you go to hell? Then what?
I guess I'll burn up. All right?
Yeah, so might as
I'll
well
be dead.
You
So
might as
why
well
would I care if I'm dead? Why would I care if I burn up if I'm dead? My body's in the ground. Why would I care if I burn?
You might as well just believe in my God, because you'll guarantee to go to heaven for sure.
Yeah, but Mike, answer me this. Why would I care if I burn if my physical body is in the ground? How will I burn? That
Because
doesn't look like an answer.
it doesn't matter. Okay, you're good. Somehow you'll burn. Your soul will burn, even though it's not made of material.
How?
It's it's a soul. It's the holy bird. Okay.
Also,
It's the
Mike, it's okay if you don't know things. It's okay to say I don't know.
I do know it. I do know. It's God. Trust me. I know.
So God, so that's the answer. I don't like my physical body's in the ground, but I'm still gonna burn. And you don't know how to explain that. You're just saying
You're
that
making me
it's
think
God.
so
How does
much.
that?
Stop! You're making me think too hard, ma'am. It's simple. God did it. That's it. Okay. I don't like thinking this much. I don't like thinking this hard.
Wait, is this like a joke?
I'm praying for you, man. They never get it. They never will understand.
Yo, it's good, Mike.
Hello, are you atheist?
I gotta ask you, Mike. I gotta ask you a question.
What?
Do you think your hair is gonna turn gray anytime soon?
My what?
Your hair.
It's gonna turn to Jesus. That's where it's turning. So you better get right with God. Praying for
That's
you.
actually funny.
All right. So the next atheist in here, there no morality.
Mr. Krabs, give me the Krabby Patty formula now. This is a robbery, Mr. Krabs.
SpongeBob's demonic. I'm praying
No,
for
I'm
you.
not. I just want the Krabby Patty formula.
What's going on, man?
Just God and Jesus. That's all that's going on. What do you have for us today?
Let's see. So it says atheists have no morality.
That's right.
Um,
No morality.
I mean, I would say probably the atheist morality would come from the same place that just about everybody else's, which is just cultural norms and common sense. And I think really the Bible doesn't really, I mean, it can't really claim to have better morality than just regular people because it condones things like slavery and genocide. So,
No, it doesn't. That's the Old Testament.
no, that would be the New Testament also.
Give me one bad thing in the New Testament.
The New Testament says slaves obey your masters.
No.
It says yep, it definitely does.
What verse is that? That's not it's not a real verse, sir. It's out of context. I'm telling you,
You'd
it's not
have
real.
to Google
It's
it.
out of context. It's out of what verse?
I don't know the exact verse, but if you look it up on Google, it'll come up. If you type in slaves obey your masters, it's in the New Testament.
No, it's out of context.
I mean, I guess you could say that, but you'd have to look it up first to even know whether it's in context or not, right?
Yeah, the context is.
So how could you know if it's out of context if you don't know the context without looking it up?
All right. Tell me this, Mr. Atheist. Where do we all come from?
I would say I don't know, and it's okay to say I don't know. I don't have to fill it with a God of the gaps fallacy.
Why not? Just say God did it.
Because
And
it's a
there you
logical
go.
fallacy. You're filling it with something just to fill the hole of a gap in knowledge, which is a fallacy. So
It's not a fallacy, sir. It's proof of God.
no,
God
it's
is proof of God. It's an argument.
just because you have an argument doesn't mean it's proof. You have to have actual, testable proof to say that
Noah's
there's
Ark.
proof.
We got Noah's Ark. They found
Where-
it.
Oh yeah, they didn't find it. What they they have not found Noah's Ark.
Yeah,
No, they haven't.
they found it in Kentucky.
In Kentucky?
Yeah,
You mean the one that they made that's like a model of it or whatever?
it's not a model. It's a real Ark. It works.
Yeah, it's like a reenacted like version of the Ark of what it was supposed to be. Yeah, it's not the
No.
actual Ark.
Sure.
You think they brought the actual Ark to Kentucky from the Middle East?
Probably. Maybe. Okay. Well, maybe
No.
there were two Ark. Okay, there were two Arks.
If you even go there, they tell you it's not the actual Ark. It's a recreation. It's like a model.
All right. Well, let me guess. You believe in the Big Boom?
I believe in I don't know where we came from, and I'm not going to fill it with a magical guy in the sky who's invisible and likes to hide from us. You know what I mean? That seems like a weird explanation.
All right, well, what's your purpose? If there's no God, what's the point?
I mean, your purpose in life is whatever you decide it to be. If it's taking care of your family or just the pursuit of happiness, right? Like America, you know?
No. That's not that. Without God, there's no purpose.
Yeah, there is. You can do things to be creative that give you fulfillment. You can raise a family. There's all kinds of things that everyone of every religion or non-religion does, and they all have purpose.
That don't make no sense to me. I'm just gonna say God, okay?
Well, you could think about it a little more and maybe it'll make more sense, but people don't need God to have a purpose. They can get purpose from all kinds of different things.
No, only God, only God, only God.
I mean, that's your opinion, but there's plenty of people that don't believe in God that still have purpose in their lives.
Only God, Jesus.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's kind of what everyone says about their religion. Everybody thinks their religion is the correct one.
I
right?
felt God. I felt God.
Yeah, every religion has religious experiences. It's not unique to Christianity.
But it was really Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, and somebody who saw Muhammad would tell you the same thing. That they saw what, you know what I mean? They had a religious experience.
No.
You know? Yeah, there's religious experience in every religion. It's not unique to Christianity.
Well, I'm praying for you, sir. You have no morality. Okay, I won this.
No morality, and
you don't have any arguments.
And the Bible supports slavery, and I have no morality. Okay,
Show me.
Yeah, look it up, dude. Exodus. And it's in the New Testament also.
What's the context?
But specifically in Exodus, it says you can beat your slaves as long as they don't die.
No.
No. Yep.
It's the wrong. It's the Old Testament.
Oh, so God was different back then? Was right and wrong different back then?
No.
Okay, so it was the same. So was beating your slave okay back then?
For certain people.
Oh, okay. So, but right and wrong changed.
It wasn't slavery. It's.
So some people are allowed to beat their slaves and other people are not?
It depends on the time.
No.
Come on.
No, the answer is slavery was always wrong, and it was always wrong to beat your slave within an inch of death.
No.
Owning people was always wrong. I'm sorry. If that shouldn't even be a question, really. It was always wrong. Owning people was always wrong. It didn't matter who it was.
In some context, it's okay.
No, only if it's consensual and it's a indentured slave or indentured servant. That's okay.
He has no morality. Atheism is child abuse. No morality.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Are you atheist?
I'm actually a Christian, but I wanted to tell you guys something about Noah's Ark.
What?
When God flooded the earth, all of the people that he killed were half-breeds from angels that came down.
That's right.
And they did horrible things. They tricked all these women into having the S word with them, and all of the children and people that were killed in the flood were half-breeds, and Noah was the only pure bloodline.
Yeah, that's right. They're all half-breeds. Exactly.
And people don't know this. People don't know this
They
stuff.
don't know it. They think that we came from dinosaurs. No, we come from
It's
Noah's
one of
Ark.
it's ridiculous.
That's right. We came
And
from
what you
Noah's
said
Ark,
about Noah's Ark in Kentucky, I've been there. Answers in Genesis
And it
is
wasn't
the
incest.
best organization.
And there was no incest. It was Adam and Eve's children that had their children. It wasn't incest. It was
I read a
only-
scientific article about how Adam and Eve had perfect genetics, so it does not count as incest.
Exactly. They had perfect genetics. And what was the scientific
Exactly.
what was the scientific study for that? I forgot. It was in
Answers in Genesis.
yeah, Answers in Genesis. Bro, I love that website. It's the perfect proof of God. Like
Exactly. And go there to their Noah's Ark. It's amazing.
No way. I just talked about that, bro.
Exactly.
Noah's Ark. Oh, bro, I love you, man. God is gonna make you
All
go
right.
to heaven, and I'm gonna see you
God
there.
bless you, sir. We're gonna
God
hang out
bless
together
you.
in heaven.
Really? You think so?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I know it's touching, and people don't realize I can feel Jesus inside of me, and we can both feel Jesus inside of us right now, and this is what makes us brothers.
I feel it, sir. I feel it.
Yeah, I know,
He's really coming inside me hard now.
I know, I know. Just do not ever let those demons come inside of you, sir. I feel Jesus in this. I feel His presence in this room right now. Yes, sir.
Oh, this is
It's bringing a
amazing.
tear to my eye.
Oh, I need you, Jesus.
We're gonna have to go to the Ark encounter together.
Remember, he died for you guys on the cross. For 6 days, he came back and died again and came back to solve problems that he caused in the first place. But it was our fault because he made us sinful. But he died for us on
Exactly.
the cross. He died.
Remember, guys, ignore everything these Satanist scientists are saying and just read the book of Genesis.
That's
This is
right.
all you have to do.
Exactly.
And you will get all the answers. You will get all the answers.
Science, schmience. It's not real, okay?
It's garbage. It's
You want
garbage.
real science? Ken Ham. Ken Ham. Kent Hovind.
Exactly.
That's real science.
And if you listen, you need to listen, and you need to look into people like Witsit Gets It, and listen to that about the flat Earth and the firmament.
That's right. They
And
think we live on a ball.
you guys will realize there's a lot of things that science is lying to us about.
Exactly. They think we live on a ball.
We are not on a cube,
ball,
guys.
really?
We are not
It's a
floating on a
cube,
cube.
okay?
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, bro. A ball.
A ball, a cube,
man.
whatever they call it these days.
Oh man. Okay, well,
It is the infinite flat plane.
that's right. And even though sunsets, I know the sun is above us and it should always be in our point of view, but that's because God has a way of making it invisible for parts of the day. And that's why we
And look, I used to watch Mr. Beast. Yes.
No way.
I used to watch Mr. Beast, and then I realized he is part of this propaganda and conspiracy because he said Antarctica has a 24-hour sun. And
That's
I know
impossible.
that's a lie.
That's a lie.
Exactly. And no one ever has video. He didn't put a real time lapse with a clock. Of course he didn't.
That's right. It's all fake.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. Anyway, man, I'm so grateful you're here for us today. I love you, sir.
God bless you, sir.
What a great Christian. Nothing like a great Christian. Hello?
Good evening.
Are you atheist?
I am. I'm so proud of it. Oh my goodness. It's like the best thing that ever happened to me, you know? Just coming to terms with, you know, reality of things, and it's okay being scared about what happens after we all, you know, pass, but it's a part of life, right?
What do you think happens when we die? We just turn to dust?
I don't know. Nobody knows. And anyone who tells you they know, there's something a little wrong. Something's a little, you know.
I'll tell you.
I think modern religion, I think the, you know, monotheistic religions, the majority of all world religions, God bless their souls, but you know, it's probably not real. It's just not. It's just recycled mythology from older religions, and I think it's caused more damage. What do you mean?
Let me preach, okay?
Okay. I've heard it all, though.
All the answers are in Genesis.
That's the scariest thing anyone's ever said to me. All the answers are in Genesis. The individual that people worship in that book, Yahweh in Genesis, he demonstrates a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Psychopathy. In my opinion. Yeah, very bipolar, very, you know, maybe a little schizophrenic.
No, She's perfect.
Maybe a sadist, because why would he invent things and then allow them to be flawed and then allow them to... There's just so many things about him. He's kind of like a walking L in that way. But
No,
I mean,
that was our fault. He killed all the people on the planet in the flood because we ate the apple.
yeah, but I don't think people should be unalive for eating fruit, you know?
Why
I
not?
think that's
It's a bad thing to do, ma'am. It's the
I know.
forbidden fruit.
You're absolutely right. I mean, I know. Every time I reach for an apple, I'm just like, damn, Eve, she screwed it up for the rest of us, you know? Every time I reach for one, I'm just like, this is so, like,
God
it
said
could have
not
all
to
been
eat
so
it, but guess
different.
what? She had to eat the apple because she was
I know.
hungry.
I know. I know. And look,
That
and now
snake
here
should
we all
never.
are.
She should have never succumbed to that snake that talked.
I know. Honestly, like, I'm still wrapping my mind around the fact that out of all this infinite space that is the universe, and I'm
We're
not
the
even,
center. We're the center.
we're the center of it, right? Like,
It's
there's
crazy. It's crazy that we're the center of the universe.
literally, and like
Literally
we can't,
crazy.
like, our minds can't even like conceptual, at least not mine. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but like I can't even conceptualize how vast and infinite the universe is. It's like it's almost like on an evolutionary basis, like you can't, because of how infinite it is. And
Right.
so I'm just like, wow, the fact that we're in the middle and like there's nothing else out there, but
But it was all
you
made
know,
for us.
it was all made
All the
for us
space.
to make us feel good about things, and
That's right.
yeah. So maybe one day I'll get on the Jesus juice, the Jesus train, but I
You?
don't know. That alone is enough to sustain me, right?
Well, I'm praying for you, ma'am, and hope Jesus, invites himself into you soon.
Oh no, please no. You have a wonderful evening. Stay safe, and
I'm
God
praying for
bless.
you.
Thank you.
Jesus bless you. Have a good day.
Bless you. You too.
Oh, well, guys. What a day it's been. We turned many people to Christ. Why does your profile picture have horns? I'm trying to scare away the demons. Reverse psychology. You like it? Remember God. Well, nice guesting here, guys.
What is up, my mammals? Also, what happened to accepting everybody?
How old are you?
I'm actually 16.
I'm praying for you. One last guest. Theists have no proof. What do you mean no proof? Look at the trees. Look at the sky. Who made all that? Come on, man. Who made this tree? Who made who made all that? Think it comes from evolution? It's fake. Where's the fossils? Where's the fossil? I don't see no fossils. Who made God? Nobody made God. Okay, he's always there.
Hello?
Are you atheist?
No. Mm-mm.
Good. You're gonna be saved.
I don't particularly agree with that either, with your logic, but yeah.
What do you mean, ma'am? Do you believe in Jesus?
Not quite sure yet. I think I have too many questions that would be left unanswered.
No, you're not supposed to question. You're supposed to believe, okay?
Oh, you're one of those Christian. Oh, that's crazy. Wait, are you Christian or Catholic?
Christian. Baptist. The only
Oh,
true
oh,
denomination.
my bad. Okay.
Get it right next time.
Okay, my bad. So, damn. Normally,
I can work past this, like, oh, don't ask questions. Like normally when I talk to Christians, they're like, I feel like they've kind of evolved past that. You haven't went with the herd or the crowd of like Christianity. Like they're kind of past like, oh, you shouldn't ask
No,
questions, because asking questions could actually has led people into Christianity.
no,
Yeah.
no.
No? Oh, okay.
You're not supposed to question. You're supposed to believe. Okay. Now I'm praying for you.
Okay.
All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed the Christian life. Keep reading the Bible. I love Exodus 21:7, Leviticus 20:13, Deuteronomy 13:6. They're all great verses that demonstrate God's real. Atheists have no morality. No morality. It's child abuse. They support evil. Atheism's child abuse. Remember, guys, you have to bring your children into the Jesus church, okay? Make sure that they are praising God, okay? But atheism is child abuse. But make sure that your children believe in God. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed the live. That was fun. Okay. Wait a minute. What's happening? Where's his accent? wait, was this satire? Imagine thinking I actually believe that nonsense. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please follow me and please subscribe to my YouTube. I post all these debates there. I'm not a Christian. I'm an atheist. I don't believe in a God. But these lives, I think they grab your attention, they make you think, and they're fun and entertaining. So that's why I do it. So yeah, ask me any questions you guys have, any serious questions before I go. Why are you hot? Drink water, guys. Okay. What was before the Big Bang? Well, the Big Bang is the expansion of the known universe, the stretching of space-time itself. So asking before the Big Bang doesn't actually make sense. That might be the wrong question to ask. But perhaps before the expansion, there was something called inflation, where there is a scalar field, a quantum field that undergoes fluctuations and can yield certain particles. And they're called infiniton particles, and they can decay into the baryonic matter that makes us up today. So there is another evolution that preceded the first initiation of the rapid inflation that happened. But so inflationary cosmology is the biggest idea we have, but it has to do with quantum mechanics, which is an entirely different topic because it's very, very very difficult to understand the quantum world. Are you the real God? Yeah. What caused that? Yeah, I mean, you ask these questions, what caused this? What caused this? What caused that? In actuality, maybe these are the wrong questions to ask, right? Maybe there is no first cause, right? We're looking in our minds for the first cause, right? The first domino to be flicked over so the rest of them fall down. The problem is that causality itself might not be a real thing. It might be an emergent phenomenon, right? And this has to do with relativity. Relativity shows us that time and space are relative. And there's something unified called space-time. And the idea of causality hinges upon a specific notion or theory of time which requires it to pass, which doesn't necessarily have to be the case. Maybe causality isn't a real phenomenon or a fundamental phenomenon. Maybe it's emergent. Maybe it's perceptual. So the point is that these questions are might not be the best question to ask. You know, maybe asking what's before the Big Bang is like asking what's at the edge of the Earth, right? There is no edge of the Earth. So the questions are hard to understand. What do you think about Dawkins? He's cool. I mean, not every atheist says the best things, and not every atheist has the best opinions, but he's a good person. I disagree with some things he says. What happens after we die? Well, as far as I know, when you die, your body decays. The bacteria and the worms that live in your body now, by the way, you have worms and bacteria in your body. They will eat away at the rest of your flesh and bones until you decompose. And that's it. There's no evidence that you come back. But you can either be sad about this and say, well, this is scary, Mike. All we have is this one life. Or you can say, wait a minute. All we have is this one life. Let's cherish it. Look how fragile this existence is, right? Look how precious it is because it's finite, because it's lonely and isolated. And look at the experience we have for the moment. Friends, family, people, careers, jobs, exploring nature, and all these amazing things we can understand. Look at what we can do, right? Look at what we are. Look at what we can do. I think that's another way of seeing it. You sent me a message about getting your book. Yeah, I have a book out. It talks about these questions, and it gives you my perspective, a secular perspective of things, right? So you guys, everything's in my bio, my YouTube, my book, and if you want a signed copy, you can DM me for a signed copy. I can ship out to you. Were you ever religious? Yes, I was. I was raised Christian and then left about 10 years ago. Why are humans different from the rest? Yeah, that's a great question. Why are humans so different from the other animals? Well, the first step to recognizing this is that we're actually not that different from the other animals. But it seems like it because we live in these bubbles of called society, where we have cars and we fly planes and we have buildings and cities, right? So it makes us feel like we're that much special, but we're really not objectively. However, what makes us different is the fact that through our evolution, we actually traversed the plains of Africa. We left the trees and started walking across Africa and into other continents. And in that process, we developed fire. We learned how to use fire. Then we cooked meat and we cooked plant foods. So cooking our foods enabled us to keep the foods for longer times, it unleashed more nutrients, it unleashed more calories, it fueled our brain growth, and walking across Africa also helped us that way. We also developed language. language was another reason why we're human. We talk to each other. We can communicate with each other. We can pass down our knowledge to our children, and they can, and the process is exponential, right? Because when you pass down information, that becomes an exponential process in which you can learn, and your descendants can learn, and they can kind of piggyback off of what their ancestors understood. So language is something very, very important for being human. And then farming, about 12,000 years ago, we started to farm, harvest. And this allowed us to become civilized, right? This allowed us to hunker down and be in a city. And because of that, we developed communal ways of living with each other. We developed moral laws and a systemic way, or even economies on a primitive level, trading and all these things. And this allowed us to really, help each other and work with each other. And that's what really makes us who we are as human. That's really what makes us different. We work with each other. We communicate with each other. We cooperate with each other. That's why we are so advanced, because we work together like no other species does. Okay. So do ants, but ants cannot communicate they cannot communicate to their descendants. They cannot pass down information. They cannot build upon that. They do not understand fire. They don't have access to the same tools we do. It's a different physiology. Do you think aliens will contact us? Well, I mean, the universe is full of stars and galaxies. Our galaxy is full of 400 billion stars. 400 billion stars. And the universe, as we can understand it and see it, is full of hundreds of millions of galaxies, billions of galaxies, perhaps even trillions of galaxies. So the universe is full of countless stars, more stars than grains of sand on all the beaches of the earth combined. Right? Think of how many stars there are. So there's lots of possibilities out there. Mathematically, I think it's probable that there would be some type of life out there because of the sheer numbers, but also because of the fact that we know what life is. Life is just a chemical process. It's what non-living things do. And that's what could be replicated in other lives and other planets out there. The Quran does not talk about the Big Bang. Not at all. Atheism is just as extreme as in Belgium. No, what? No. Atheism is not making the positive claim that there is no God. It's just simply saying we don't believe in a God. No, the Quran does not talk about the Big Bang. No, ants don't talk to each other. They behaviorally communicate in certain ways, but they don't talk language. They don't have a language. No other species has a language like humans do. They have other species have precursors to language, but no other species has a language, especially not like we have it. What about the Bible? The Bible's another book of nonsense to me. I mean, talking snakes, talking donkeys, Adam and Eve, Noah's Ark, seems to be mythology. Our time is up. Dolphins have a language. No. They might talk, they might communicate with each other behaviorally. They might send out signals to each other certain ways, but that's not the same as language, right? There's a difference between responding to certain stimuli and having a language. No, they don't have a language. It's not a developed language. It's, if anything, sure, there could be some kind of primitive communication going on, but it's not an actual language, right? They haven't attributed certain symbols or other noises as meaning certain things. Literature, yeah, literature. They don't have, no other species has literature. They can write or language is not just noises, right? Language is ascribing symbols to certain utterances or describing meaning to certain symbols or utterances. Ants communicate chemically. No, guys, you guys are misunderstanding what I'm saying. I understand that other animals communicate with each other, but not in the way that we do, right? We have something called literature, language, right? We symbolize things in a systematic way. No other animal has that. There is no dolphin language that all dolphins share or all dolphins understand. No. Dolphin brains are not more complex. No, our brains are the most complex of all species. Now, of course, other species dolphins have very complex brains. They're very intelligent, but they're not as intelligent as us. They're not as complex as us. We have to teach language to children. Yeah, but the problem is that we actually have parts of the brain that actually process language. There are parts of our brain that are actually dedicated to language, right? The prefrontal cortex. So no other ape has that. They might have precursors to these things, but they don't have the things we do. Teaching a child a language is different than teaching an ape sign language. It's a different process. In humans, it actually is expected that language is a part of our upbringing. And that's why we have a part of the brain dedicated to it. And then, in fact, there's a specific age you reach where it's hard for you to learn a new language. It's because that's how the brain develops. The brain development incorporated learning of language. That is not the same thing as other apes. Animals can talk, birds can talk. No, when a bird or parrot, when they, do these things, that's just a mockery. That's just a mockery of what we're doing. They're not actually speaking. They're just in their way of speaking and in their way of communicating. They're just trying to replicate what we're doing. It's not nearly the same as what our brains can process through language. They're just repeating things. Who taught? Yeah, mimicking, exactly. We taught bonobos Minecraft. Yeah, other apes, guys, of course there are degrees of intelligence in the animal kingdom, of course. Bonobos are very smart, and they actually understand many things. In fact, in some instances, they actually have more processing power than we do in our brains. But in terms of language, or writing, or reading, or speaking, no other animal or ape has that. Where does the energy go when you decay? Where it came from. The atmosphere, the air, the water. Every day, why do I have to drink water? Right? Why do I drink water? Why? That water is going into my bloodstream, and my cells are grabbing onto it. My cells absorb that water, and they filter that water throughout my body to fuel the reactions to make more cells. That's what life is, right? We are intaking calories, we're intaking water, we're intaking food and water, and it is fueling these processes in our bodies to make new cells and keep us sustained and alive, right? So where did that energy come from? This water is energy, right? There's energy in this water. So where did it go? Where did it come from? the atmosphere, right? It rained in Fiji and the Fiji Islands. It rained. It went back and down into the aquifers. It filtered through the sand and water, and bam, here we go. Now we got it from the spring. Put it in the bottle, and now I'm drinking it and feeling my body. So so we're kind of like absorbing the environment, and then when we die, where all that energy goes, it goes back into the environment. When you die, all that goes back into the air, the water, the soil. That's it. We are temporarily borrowing energy while we're alive. Does objective truth exist? Well, there's many different types of truths, right? There's analytical truths, there's synthetic truths, logical truths. Depends what you mean. If you're talking about empirical truths, I don't think we have the empirical ability to reach objective truths about the empirical world. I can't prove that this is not an illusion, or I can't prove that this is not a simulation, or so I don't think we have absolute epistemic access there. But when it comes to logical truths, right, like a married bachelor is a contradiction. That's a logical truth that we assess a priori. It doesn't come from the empirical world. It comes from the brain, and because of this, we can reach, I think, absolutes when it comes to logic, because it's just definitional, right? So it all depends on what type of truth you mean. So truth exists independent of our minds? No. All truths seem to be mind dependent. But they can still be objective because they are analytically true, right? They are by definition true. And that's what really objective means in this sense. It means stance independent, not necessarily mind independent, but stance independent. It's really just semantics, but yeah, I would say that truth is all mind dependent. Stop. No, I'm not going to do the mocking. No, I'm not doing that. I'm tired. I got to go to bed soon. Is there a limit to knowledge? Good question. I don't know. It's a big question. I don't know. I suspect there isn't. I suspect that the universe is infinite. And if that's the case, then knowledge is infinite. But it doesn't really make sense to me that knowledge would stop, right? Because we can continue asking questions about that, right? Like, where did that knowledge come from, and like how do we know we know everything? That's another conundrum, right? Like, how do you know that you know everything, right? That's something tricky. So I don't know. Where does objective truth exist in our minds? Was the black stone in Mecca sent by God? Well, there's no evidence that the stone was sent by any god. There's no evidence of a god. But if you had some, I'd love to see it. Thank you all I hope you guys enjoyed the live today. It was entertaining. It was fun for me. And please subscribe to my YouTube. I have lots of great science videos. I have thoughts on the growing block versus eternalism. Didn't you ask this in Discord? Both models are possible. Like there's nothing stopping those models from being the case. However, I will say that eternalism, I think, makes more sense because relativity shows us that our futures are determined, or it shows that our futures are necessarily determined. So it would make sense that we're going into a possible world. I think that might be possible under certain quantum mechanical interpretations, namely the many worlds. But it's hard to fathom the answer. I don't know. Nobody does. Why do you mock Christianity but not Muslims? Oh, I mock. First of all, I don't mock people, right? I mock the belief, and I have mocked the religion of Islam many times. Just haven't seen it. Hasn't answered one question. No knowledge. What do you mean? But you have mockable beliefs too. What do you mean? What beliefs do I have that you will mock? And you can mock my beliefs, whatever I beliefs are. But my beliefs are based on facts, right? You're just mocking the facts when you mock my beliefs, because my beliefs necessarily align with what's factual. Is quantum mechanics the most fundamental feature of reality? We don't know that. It seems, but it definitely seems to be more fundamental than relativity, right? Relativity is not the full picture. There's something deeper, even still. And quantum mechanics seems to be the better model of describing things that go beyond relativity. So I think that quantum mechanics definitely is more likely to be the fundamental equations. What is your creation theory? There is no creation. I don't know what skibbity toilet is. I'm not Gen Alpha. All right, guys. Bye. Have a good day. So, an eternal universe that has simply existed forever. Possibly, yeah. Possibly. The universe could be infinite, go on forever. There's no end to it. We don't know. But whatever the answer is, all we know is what we have. This one planet, this one Earth, your people, the people around you, your friends, your family. It's all we got. Cherish it. We need some mods in here. All the skibbities are out. Skibbity. Does your brain hurt thinking how big the universe is? Well, yeah, I mean, how does it not boggle the mind to ponder the vastness of the cosmos? You know? It's just amazing.